Good morning. How's everybody today? I can't believe it's December. Can you believe it's December? It just doesn't seem possible, but at the same time we've had such a year. It's kind of nice to see December show up because that means that this year is almost over. And I for one will be glad to see 2020. I will give it a salute. I will not let the door hit it on its way out. Uh, at any rate, back from a little bit of a break with Thanksgiving, and this particular time with our 24 author challenge, we had our first chapter book. So it took me a little bit longer to get through it, and then with Thanksgiving and the holidays and things, I just said, well, I'll just wait another week to do this. One of the reasons that I changed my time slot to Saturday morning was a lot related to this book. Saturday morning for me when I was a little kid meant cartoons. So I had my top three: Bugs Bunny, Scooby-Doo, and anything with superheroes. I know there are certain camps where they only like Marvel or they only like DC, but I'm kind of in the middle. I like everybody. So this particular book, With the Curiosity of a Cat, is the second book in a superhero school series. Check it out. So this is the second book, and it actually, after reading this, I really want to go back and get the first book. This is written by Donna Sager Cowan. She lives in California with her 4 cats and her family. And these superheroes are a little bit different from what we're used to seeing. I know that there are a lot of kids now that are really interested in Paw Patrol. And Paw Patrol is made up of a bunch of different dogs, and they're different breeds, and I think it's really adorable. This one is different animals. And in school, they would be known as the Geek Squad. How many of us were members of the Geek Squad before it was a Geek Squad? Me. I was not. I was one of those not too cool people. But these friends all get together and make up a great team. And isn't that what a team does? You take the best of everyone's assets and you put them together and you have a really good bond, and things go really well. So we have Cat. Cat's a cat. I think you can see her right here. There's Cat right there. Cat is very compassionate, very caring, very loving, to a fault in a way, because she thinks everything that goes wrong is her fault, and it really isn't. So she has to have some help processing that. And her best friend is Simon. You can see the back of Simon right here. Simon's a mouse. I think it's kind of funny that the cat and the mouse are the same, are buddies. I think that's hilarious. Simon is the planner. He is the one who sits and thinks of everything through. He's the one he's kind of the leader of the bunch. He gets everybody together. He comes up with these great ideas. And there are a number of pages where you see him pacing around. So he's one of those that when he thinks, he's got to move around a little bit. The third character is Patty. Patty is a cow. Patty is your IT guru. Don't know if you can see Patty right here. Patty is right there with her cape, and she's talking to Sergeant Jones. Sergeant Jones is a police officer. He's a giraffe, and you can imagine how uncomfortable that must be for him sitting there. She's your IT gal. She is the person who gets on the computer. She finds everything. She looks up everything. Hi, Jerry. Thanks for joining. She does satellite interference. She does all kinds of really cool stuff. So she's always somebody you want on your team. And then you have Freddie. Freddie is a tree frog. See Freddie right there? Freddie's the observer. Freddie is the one, I guess because he is a tropical rainforest tree frog, and he has a big red eyes. He's the observer. He sees things that other people don't. He notices things that other people may not. So when it comes to getting feedback, you want to know what Freddie has to say about things. At any rate, Kat and Simon go on an adventure, and they happen to stumble onto an illegal exotic animal shipping business. And the story kind of takes off from there. At a very high risk of being captured themselves, these friends combine their efforts to not only free the animals that are in these cages. They found a secluded area with a bunch of cages and a bunch of exotic. They have tigers and elephants and parrots and all kinds of things, and they're wondering, how in the world do you get there? So they find out that there is an exotic animal business, and they move the animals out by helicopter in the middle of the night. So they extract as much information as they can from some of the local animals, and then they put their plan into action. And their plan would not go through without Simon's buddy, Ricky. Ricky is the rat, as you can see right there. And Ricky is not an official member of the team, but you always need that daredevil in your group. He's the one, he will do whatever. And he doesn't care who gets caught. He doesn't care what the risk is. He will get together a group of people and say, hey, we're going in. And you always need somebody like that to kind of take charge and make things happen. So they combined their efforts, and they were able to catch the bad guys. And they were able to intercept the transport of some of the animals. There was a crucial mistake that was made, and of course members of the team were all upset. Oh, it's my fault. I didn't do this. I didn't see this right. But they all worked together, and they managed to rescue the same animals twice, if you can believe that, because they rescued them from being out in the woods in the cages, and then they rescued them from being on the ship that was taking them someplace else that they should not have been going. So they rescued the animals twice, endangering their own lives and endangering the lives of the animals and their family members, because this is a poaching ring, for lack of a better description. Poaching, exotic animal trade, really, really big. I'm glad that Donna wrote this book, because this is something that I'm very passionate about. I don't like trophy hunting. I'm not into any of that stuff. I wish there was a book like this when I was a kid. The only thing I could read was Born Free. That was about as close as I could get, or something by Jane Goodall. And as a little kid, that was kind of a little bit over my head, but I did like to look at the pictures of the chimpanzees. But this book actually does a great job exposing kids to the reality of the poaching trade and the exotic animal trade, and really stresses the part of life where it's good to be a team member. And let me just read a section here for you. I had this earmarked earlier. We're talking about Kat. And again, she's upset because of some of the mistakes that she made. Kat huddled in the back of the ship, hidden behind the musty life jackets and tattered coils of rope. She didn't feel like celebrating. She just wanted to go home and forget about her mistakes. Maybe she should swim back all by herself. A loud bark from Theo, that's the harbor seal that helped them get out to the ship. A loud bark from Theo reminded Kat that she wasn't alone. He had waited for her when everyone else was making an escape, just like she had waited with the animals who were stuck on the ship. That had to count for something. She hadn't called on the Coast Guard or chatted with the rescue boats or the helicopters. but she hadn't given up. And she hadn't left anyone behind either. And that is exactly what heroes do. So that's just one little passage from this book. There's a whole lot of little nuggets like that in this book. And if you have someone who is third, fourth, fifth grade, this is a good start chapter book. It looks kind of thick. And if you hear the number, if I were to tell you the number of chapters, it would be a turnoff. So I'm not going to tell you the number of chapters. But they're very short. They're like a page or two. So to get started on a chapter book with only a page or two per chapter is not bad. And it is a page turner. I had a really, really hard time putting this down. I wanted to read it straight through, but with my time constraints with work and some of the other things I had to do, I set my goal that I would read X amount of pages or X amount of chapters, and I'd have to put it down. And every time it came to putting it down, I couldn't put it down. I didn't want to put it down. I looked forward to reading the next page. There are I've been showing you illustrations. There are illustrations at the beginning of each chapter. So each at the beginning of each chapter has a beautiful illustration. And this is Ricky the rat meeting up with the porcupine, who is in the neighborhood where in the exotic animals are being hidden. So she's kind of the ruse, the informant kind of thing. So just wanted to really quickly give you this update. Yes, Jerry, I love children's books too. That's why I was so glad to be asked to join this group, and the reason why I wrote a children's book. But this is wonderful, and it does make me want to go back and get book 1. And if there's any indication that this little baby panther cub is going to be in book 3, I really want to read book 3 too. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, you're going to have to read the book. This book is available on Amazon, so you can get this book on Amazon, and you can also get the first book, and it is the Superhero School series. So these kids are in school to be superheroes. So one of the things, and the reason that they got in the mess that they did is because they had to go jump out of a plane. So they had to learn how to fly. So that's how they ended up on the ground, and they got lost. But you'll have to find out what happens. So that's this week with The Curiosity of a Cat, the second book in a superhero school series. Now next week we're going to be doing a little bit of a shorter book. This is more of an elementary level. Gray the dog. And here's Gray the dog. I haven't read it yet. I just received it, so I just got it in the mail. So that will be our review for next week. I'm noticing a theme. We all seem to like to write about cats and dogs and different animals, because we have several that in the series that we've been doing with the 24 authors that are related to cats and dogs. So I think that's kind of cool. If you want any more information on the 24 author challenge, you can tune in to my author page, which is Kelly Dee Writes at author. It's on Facebook, and that's about all I have for this morning. So hope you have a good day. Let me know if you watch this either live or on replay. And hopefully by this time next year, or even earlier, by 2021, I'm hoping to have a YouTube channel. So all of the reviews that I've done will be on a YouTube channel. So hope that helps, and happy Saturday. Hope you have a good day. Bye.